Hey guys, this is Paul. I wanted to give you a quick tour of my twin motor Radiomaster Dolphin experimental build. I want to give a credit to Jeff Does This on YouTube. Used his nacelles that he printed, or he modified, and I printed. A few other parts of his, and his videos have been big influence in me pursuing this. And then on Thingiverse APPELM, his nose cone that he designed for the Dolphin, for the DJI 04 Pro, and he's also designed them for various other air units and VTXs out there. So first, let's take a peek at the motors and the nacelles. I am using Brother Hobby Avenger 2806.5 1300 kV motors on this, and two HG LRC 60 amp BL Heli 32 ESCs. I know that's overkill, but I should be nowhere near that, even at full throttle, but just like to have the headroom and hopefully keep things cool. So first I wanted to address, I know in his video, Jeff Does This, he mentioned that from the wing root to the center hole on these nacelles, that his spacing was 53.5 millimeters, and I can't remember if he said that was for 60-42 blades or for 70-42, but regardless, for me, this distance is 70 millimeters. If I use 53.5, I don't think I could use even a 6-inch prop. It was way too close to the fuselage for the prop. So 70 millimeters on each side was perfect for me. Printed these nacelles out of PETG on a Bamboo A1 printer, and I believe they were the strength preset at 0.2 millimeter with like 90% infill. Still pretty light, but very sturdy. And then underneath the nacelles, they have a little spot for the ESC, which was a very nice modification that Jeff Does This did. So let's flip it over. So basically all I did after mounting the nacelles, and I did exactly what Jeff Does This instructed, was to use hot glue, plop it on there, and then use the bamboo skewers in the top two holes to kind of fix it in place, and then I really doused it with E6000, probably way too much. As you can see, I've got blobs that I have painted with black acrylic paint to try and mask it a little, but it still looks pretty bad. But they will not move. They are very sturdy. So after I mounted those guys, I cut out the little space where the servo wires go into the fuselage. I just widened it, put some Gorilla Clear tape over it, and called it good. This airframe, has been through a lot. You can see a lot of repairs. So I want to get it working on this airframe, get all the bugs worked out, and then put it on a newer Dolphin and have it look pretty. Yeah, what else? Oh, in the ESC cover, there's no ESC in here, but I do have an 8-gram wheel weight to help with center of gravity. Turn it back over. And so in the back here, like I said, it's not the prettiest, but I have got the battery in the back compartment now for center of gravity reasons, because with the nose cone and then the motors are forward of the center of gravity, it was very nose heavy. And so moving the battery back here, when originally I had it actually resting in this middle channel here, when it was single motor, this has been a night and day difference for trying to CG this thing, because I was just unsure how I was going to do it. And so being able to move the battery back here is just really changed the ease of balancing this thing. I'm using an Auline 4500 milliamp hour S70, can do a 70 amp continuous discharge 4S, and should be nowhere near 70 amps, but it's nice to have the headroom and the flight time of a lithium ion. So haven't flown it yet with this battery. I did do one test flight with a 2800 4S LiPo, and it worked great. I didn't have the DJI on it yet, so I don't have any footage, but now that I've got the DJI on, I will next put up some footage and show you how it really flies. But other than just having two ESCs to the flight controller, there's nothing else really special that I did. Just some long wire runs to the receiver and the DJI 04. Right now I've got a HG LRC M100 Pro with the 5883 compass, and I love this thing for the price. It is, I don't think you can get much better. Gets a lot of satellites, quick lock, and the compass works perfect. So up in the front, I've got the nose cone designed by APPELM on Thingiverse, and this thing is awesome. It's so sturdy, fits the air unit perfect, protects the camera module. It has already survived one crash on a different plane, different Dolphin, and I love it. I put it on every Dolphin that I have DJI 04 on. There's actually a back plate that you got to print along with this nose cone that you glue into the very front. You got to take the magnets out, widen the magnet holes a little bit, put some M3 threaded inserts into the back plate, glue it on, and then this has two M3 holes on the sides that you use to secure it to the fuselage. Then the VTX is just held on by very high bond double-sided tape, and the camera module sits in there perfectly flush, secured on each side by two M2 screws, not M.2, M2. And then one thing I love about this is it looks like the camera module's really exposed, but if you look at it from the side, it's actually got some protection. Those little outcroppings, they're not in the field of view, but in the event of a crash, they really protect your camera module. And I've been in a crash with this nose cone on, and nothing happened to the 04 air unit. I was really worried. Nothing happened. And in case you're wondering what happened, I was flying my single motor Dolphin, and my worst nightmare happened where I accidentally disarmed, had auto launch switch engaged, forgot to disable the auto launch switch, tried to disarm, rearm, throttle low, and re-engage the motor, but I still had the auto launch switch engaged, which prevented me from rearming and couldn't take control with the control surfaces. It started nosedive sideways, and I could not gain control. It all happened so quick, and I was up at like 300 feet. So it really, it broke my Dolphin in half. But the nose cone, man, not a scratch on it. It was unreal. So in the front, I've got a Ruco remote ID, and I know a lot of people probably have some not so good things to say about remote ID, but I will never fly without one of these things again. It's got a little GPS unit in it, and since my Dolphin that crashed, the battery had disconnected, and so I couldn't tell by where, if I was getting close by my camera, because I had disarmed and rearmed, and the camera did not keep recording, so I couldn't tell exactly where I went down, and my battery disconnected, so I didn't have GPS or my ELRS RSSI to even know if I was close to where it went down. I had an idea, but it was really thick brush and overgrown and tall, and it was hard to see anything. But this remote ID, I turned on the app, my Bluetooth location, and it picked it up. It was still on, led me right to it. So this is a nice actual safety net to have. I know you have to be close within range for it to connect, but since it's powered by its own separate battery, it won't turn off if the battery ever disconnects during a crash. So pretty cool. And then on the ELRS receiver, I love 915. I like long range. I use the Radiomaster BR3 to diversity antenna setup. I run the Nomad ELRS external module from Radiomaster, and I also have picked up the HGLRC TX1 915 external module that can go up to 2 watts power. This module right here this receiver can go up to 500 milliwatts telemetry output. So I haven't tested the HGLRC TX1 900 external module, but I think with this setup, it could definitely get some range. The one thing with the Nomad, since it uses dual band, you can still fly 900 or 2.4 or both with the correct receiver, but the dual band antennas on the Nomad, they definitely don't get as good of signal as a pure 900 or 2.4 antenna does. So that's why I got the HGLRC TX1 for under $30. So I figured it's worth a shot. Give it a try, see how it performs. But for me, I just feel like, especially with the DJI 04 on board, 900, there's no interference from the DJI. I noticed on 2.4, I definitely got some strange behavior on my ELRS, where dynamic power would ramp up to a watt, and I'm very close by. I know that's an issue with DJI Goggles 3 and 04, is that the 2.4, there is still communication on the 2.4 band. It's not just purely 5.8. So for me, DJI and ELRS 900 megahertz is the way to go, especially on fixed wing. Yeah, so I think that's it. Like I said, I will leave some links in the description for these parts that I used and videos, and I'll leave my specs on the description as well. And thank you for watching. Next video will be some footage of the twin motor ripping. See you guys.